Morning, it's the 1st of August. Don't know where July went, do you? Christ almighty, it just flew right by. We haven't really done a lot of harvesting. We've done our winter barley and our oilseed rape. I'm just looking over these flats of wheat at Backett Farm. And we've got a lot of acres of wheat to go at when the weather does settle down, because it's talking unsettled till Tuesday. But to be fair, it's just held us off a little bit. If it'd been real fine weather, we'd have been nibbling at corn what wasn't fit. We did that spring barley the other day and that was fit, but the rest of the spring barley's a good week off. I reckon back end of this week, when it does dry out, we'll have a go then. But it's just looking so promising, our old crops. I really am excited to get into these wheats, because they're looking like they're going to be, well, quite hefty, I would say. But I know you can't count your trailers before you've got them, but yeah, I mean, looking at the canopy, everything looks pretty good. Places is just starting to go down a little bit where we've had a bit of overlap with fert or a bit too much muck and one thing and another, so they don't want a lot of stormy weather. Yeah, as I said, all looking promising, especially Skyfall. I thought wasn't going to fill, and I thought it was going to be lean grain, and it is a little bit on ice sand, but the bodied land, it seems to have filled quite nice. So yeah, we're hoping, and hopefully it'll make a premium for bread making. So yeah, 30 pound above feed, so we'll put it separate and then get it tested for Agberg and one thing or another, and hopefully it'll make the grade. So yeah, I've just been having a look at this winter barley stubble what we've worked and injected with blood, and we want to put a catch crop in. Well, a catch crop stroke grazing, because it's often with spring barley, and we want to utilise that blood so it don't leach all over winter. So we want to draw it up into some green matter and either feed it to sheep, even mow it maybe. But I'm just going to put some, well, home saved rape, and maybe some rye and some peas, and see what I end up with. We are going to buy a couple of mixes off Sutton's, but bloody hell, it ain't cheap, is it? You know, we're going to grow a mix alongside our rape next year. Mustard, forage rape, white radish, stubble turnips, you know, like an acre. Keep it separate, treat it exactly the same as our rape crop, because they're all brassicas. Use all the same chemistry as what we put on our rape, i.e. herbicides, fungicides, one thing and another, and then keep it separate. Next harvest we'll keep it separate, bung it in an IBC or something like that, or a bag, and we've got our own blend of cover crop seed to chuck about. That's what the idea is. But I don't know about this cover crop job, to be honest. I don't know. It's all extra work, and I think it has got a place, but our land just needs cultivation. I mean, no till and cover crops, I know it's a long-term thing and you have to build the quality of the soil up, but I don't know, it's not easy, is it? It's worked in some places and it's been disastrous in some places on our farm. I mean, Latham, our spring oaks are disastrous because of, I think it needed a bit of cultivation. But then we've got some, oh, where are we? Some barley and some oats on another farm, and they've done really well. They're on real bodied land where you'd think the season wouldn't have suited it, but it has. But anyway, enough of my rabbiting on. We'll go see what's happening for the day. Go have a look at old points we had on compared to new ones. Where are they? Just chucking it scratch. Put some new metal on her, haven't we? I think we got our money's worth out at last ones. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think we did. One through the bottom of them. Yeah. They've done all last year though, wouldn't they? We did a big chunk last year. Been told that there might be a shortage of metal as well by a Pan Anglia man. That people are going to not realise, oh, there's a shortage anyway, and not realise how much they're going to use. They're very easy to fit, are these? Just new roll pins. And they just hold on, and obviously when they get sealed up with soil, they sort of lock in place. But she's going to want some wings on soon as well. Right, go on then. Phil's edge cutting, well he ain't edge cutting actually, he's just trimming a few dikes out. You aren't allowed to cut edges until I think it's the 1st of September. Ollie's over there ripping the rear planned up. It's working tremendously since we've had, I think we've had 12 mil of rain. It's just soft at the top and it's just biting in beautiful. He says he's making a right job, so. And I'm off turning straw, which I bloody hate. It's a totally unnecessary job, but I reckon it's going to rain tomorrow. I think it's widespread rain tomorrow. And I reckon if I turn it today, we'll get him at tea time. New operation for us. We've just well, we bought this little Astwell straw turner last back end. We never used it. We hadn't used it, and anyway, there's just this barley straw, and I think if I put a bit of air into it, it will bale at 6 o'clock. So, and I'm very, very impressed with the thing. Oh, it's just a big waffler, but it's making a right job. But I am finding it's making a better job if you go the opposite way to the direction of your combat. So let's see, I'm doing this wrong. Should have been down that one really. Well, let's see what it does down this. This is the same way as the combine. And I don't think it woofs it up as fast. Oh, maybe it does. Maybe it don't make much difference. I have found though, if you go too fast, it's a total waste of time. It doesn't. It just sort of flows over it rather than turning it. If you go just a steady pace, I think I'm doing about 12k. It sort of flicks it over. Oh, it's marvellous little thing. It's an Astwell 170 turner. British built, I don't know where they're built, but yeah, very impressed. 700 quid it was. Because we used to use the twin rotor rake, and well, we had a single rotor rake, but Phil blew it up last year. Some bolts came off frame and it turned itself over anyway. It failed going. It must have been. I bet it was an impressive sight actually. And so that wrote that off, and we use the twin rotor rake. Well, it's a bit unnecessary in it, so we're using this Bobby Dazzler. Only thing is, it don't put it on fresh land. You know, if it was really wet, it doesn't turn it onto dry land. It's saying it fluffs it up. Yeah, I'm pleased. On this little John Deere 6506. Oh, it's 1996, it's done 12,000 hours. Yeah, 12,500 hours, look, 2,500 hours on there. And then she's been round clock once. I'll tell you what, there's nothing wrong with it apart from the air conditioning doesn't work. And I don't know why, because it used to be good, so it probably needs regassing. But for these type of jobs, do you need out any better? I don't know. Because it's a marvellous little tractor. In fact, I wish if they build tractors like this, now, you won't have all these problems. Sensor for this, sensor for that. Wire broke, a connection broke, a wire broke. Christ almighty. They're nearly well, they've become, I think that they've had a backward step with reliability. That's why we run a few older models, to be honest. That's bloody making a hell of a job, is this thing. It really is. I've been out and all the wet's on top. Seems to flick it over somehow. But yeah, it's quite hot in here. It's a 6506, which means it's 100 horsepower, naturally aspirated, and got a turbo. They made this, and then they made the 66, which had a turbo. I think this is 100 horsepower. The 66 was 110 horsepower. But for this job, it's fine, like. But aircon don't work though. That's packed in. I don't know why. I think it needs regassing. So that's why I've got the door open. But yeah, it's a tight little tractor, really. In fact, it's very, very solid for 12,500 hours. It makes you wonder whether these new tractors are capable of doing that type of hours without costing a fortune, because this has cost next to nothing. I think we've had brakes done. Oh, that's about it, really. So yeah, now flat fancy look. In fact, it's very bloody basic, but even comes with a cassette deck, look. But you ain't got one of them in your Fendt. But your air conditioning works though. Late drilled maize is really growing now. In fact, we thought it was going to be a disaster, but we did heavily irrigate it just before they stopped our license, because we've got a bit of a strange license. The Environment Agency can stop us pumping at any time. So yeah, before they did, we give it 2 inch, like in a wanner. God, it was a bit moist, to say the least. And yeah, and since we've had a natural rain, it's really going. Orley's working a bit of land up here. I've had 12 mil of rain here, and oh, it's making it work beautiful. It really is. We should have been a bit more patient actually and wait till it rained. And then they did a right marathon and working some land up. Better send it around. He's got legs in deep and all. Oh, she's an animal, is this thing? Having a look at some spring barley our neighbours on, and the local fella down the road, he's among wheat, but I don't know. I think it'll be wetter than they expect. I think it'll be nearer the 20 than the 15. Oh heck, oh, no, it takes a touch somehow. That's made a right job of working this land up though. Really has, yeah, really pleased. Pigeons will be disappointed because they've really been feeding on the stubble. You can tell this barley fit, loads of green.